Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Tuesday, March 30th, 2021. Deutsche Welle report. No fooling. Volkswagen changes to Voltswagen in US. Volkswagen's new US-only moniker is designed as a public declaration of the company's future-forward investment in e-mobility. The world's second-largest carmaker expects to double electric vehicle deliveries and boost profits for its core brand this year after accelerating its switch to fully electric vehicles. Embracing electric vehicles also allows it to compete with market leader Tesla. However, the move does not affect the German parent company, which will continue as Volkswagen.
BBC report. COVID-19. Travel within Irish counties allowed from the 12th of April. Michael Martin outlined various dates for easing COVID-19 restrictions in the Republic of Ireland on Tuesday. The country's National Public Health Emergency Team, NPHET, recommended a cautious approach. From the 12th of April, 2 households can meet outdoors and the construction industry can return to work. From the 19th of April, some additional high-performance training will be allowed, including senior inter-county GAA training.
CNN report. Low-income Social Security recipients will get their stimulus payments next week. The Internal Revenue Service will start sending stimulus payments to low-income Social Security recipients this weekend, and expects most of the money to be received electronically on April 7th. Most eligible households have already received the stimulus payments approved by Congress in the latest COVID relief bill passed earlier this month. Roughly 127 million payments have been sent out over the first 2 weeks.
Deutsche Welle report. UN warns of Mozambique humanitarian crisis. Mozambique's rebels controlled about half of the strategic town of Palma on Tuesday, a week after a jihadist attack deepened a humanitarian crisis in the country's north. More than 900,000 people in Mozambique now require food aid, according to the UN World Food Programme. It is a fast-evolving conflict situation and large numbers of people are fleeing through the bush, with nothing by the clothes on their backs. Lola Castro, the regional director for WFP, told the AP news agency.
Fox report. Street. Lewis police chief launches new probe after white officers not convicted in beating black undercover cop. The Saint. Lewis police chief announced Tuesday that the department would launch a new internal investigation after a jury did not hand down any convictions Monday in the trial of 3 white officers accused of beating a black undercover detective during a 2017 Black Lives Matter protest so badly that he had to undergo several surgeries. Officer accountability is, and has been, a pillar of my administration. Street.
CNN report. The fight to legalize cannabis in Mexico. When Javier Zaragoza wakes up in the morning, he rolls a blunt for breakfast. He repeats it 4 times a day. For the past 5 years, he's been growing 6 marijuana plants for personal use at his home in Chimalhuacan, state of Mexico. It feels right because it's for personal use. I don't have to buy it from organized crime, he told CNN. And somehow people no longer see you as a criminal. Soon, it may no longer be a crime.
Fox report. Man killed in Philadelphia mall shooting was stepson of local detective. DA. The man fatally shot during a purported fight at a Philadelphia mall earlier this week was the stepson of a detective in the county, officials announced Tuesday. Philadelphia police are offering a $20,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the man who shot and killed 21-year-old Dominic Billa just after 5 p.m. Monday in the food court of the Philadelphia Mills Mall near the Northeast Philadelphia Airport, authorities said.
Fox report. Suez Canal ship blockage under investigation. Experts are looking into how a colossal cargo ship became wedged across Egypt's Suez Canal, where the vessel blocked traffic and disrupted billions of dollars in international trade for nearly a week. While the Ever Given, which is about as long as the Empire State Building is tall, was freed Monday and traffic has since resumed in the channel that links the Mediterranean and Red Seas. It's still unclear what went wrong.
CNN report. This palm tree nearly went extinct. Now its super berries are helping to save it. Call to Earth is a CNN initiative in partnership with Rolex. Laurie Cullen is a Rolex Awards laureate, but the Jucara berry, which grows on a palm tree of the same name, is offering a lot more than antioxidants. It's helping to restore Brazil's devastated Atlantic forest. A lush tropical forest that stretched more than 2,500 miles along Brazil's coastline and inland to Paraguay and Argentina. The Atlantic forest once covered 12% of Brazil's land area.
Al Jazeera report. 14 countries raise concern over WHO report on COVID origin. A group of 14 countries has raised concerns over a new report by the World Health Organization, WHO, into the origin of the coronavirus, citing delays and a lack of full access to data. While the agency's own chief called for further investigation into a theory the outbreak was the result of a laboratory leak. The widely anticipated study on Tuesday was based on an investigation by the agency's fact-finding mission to the Chinese city of Wuhan, where the novel virus was first detected.
Al Jazeera report. UN raises $6.4 billion for Syrians as humanitarian needs soar. International donors have pledged $6.4 billion in humanitarian aid to help Syrians fleeing a decade of civil war. But short of a $10 billion goal as governments struggle with weakened economies because of the COVID-19 pandemic. In the 5th annual conference held to keep Syrians from starvation, the event hosted by the European Union sought $4.2 billion for people displaced inside Syria and $5.8 billion for refugees and their hosts elsewhere in the Middle East.
Fox report. China reduces elected seats in Hong Kong legislature. China has sharply reduced the number of directly elected seats in Hong Kong's legislature in a setback for the democracy movement. The changes were announced Tuesday after a two-day meeting of China's top legislature. In the new makeup, the legislature will be expanded to 90 seats, and only 20 will be elected by the public. Currently, 35 seats, or half of the 70-seat legislature, are elected. China's top legislature approved amendments to Hong Kong's constitution on Tuesday that will give Beijing more control over the makeup of the city's legislature.
Deutsche Welle report. Germany restricts use of AstraZeneca vaccine to over 60s in most cases. German Health Minister Jens Spahn and the 16 state health ministers on Wednesday decided to suspend the routine use of the AstraZeneca vaccine for people under age 60 in emergency meeting, after authorities in the cities of Berlin and Munich decided to limit its use. The decision came amid fresh concern over unusual blood clots reported in a tiny number of people who received the vaccine. Germany's Permanent Vaccine Commission, known by the short name STIKO, earlier on Tuesday published new guidelines recommending that the AstraZeneca vaccine be issued only to those over 60.
BBC report. COVID. Germany warns against AstraZeneca for under 60s. The German medicines regulator found 31 cases of a type of rare blood clot among the nearly 2.7 million people who had received the vaccine in Germany. Canada earlier suspended use of the AstraZeneca jab in people under 55. AstraZeneca said international regulators had found the benefits of its jab outweighed risks significantly. It said it was continuing to analyze its database to understand whether these very rare cases of blood clots associated with thrombocytopenia occur any more commonly than would be expected naturally in a population of millions of people.
CNN report why Biden won't be able to totally undo Trump's tax cuts. President Joe Biden got almost everything he wanted with his $1.9 trillion economic rescue plan. Goldman Sachs thinks Biden will face far more resistance in his quest to unwind former President Donald Trump's tax cuts. Biden campaigned on hiking the corporate rate from 21% to 28%, raising the tax on foreign income and instituting a minimum corporate tax rate. Such moves would deal a significant blow to corporate profits, wiping out an estimated 9% of next year's S&P 500 per share earnings, according to a client report published by Goldman Sachs.
BBC report. Libya's city of ghosts. Around him, the men of Tarhuna gather, pushing the red sandy earth and patting down the mound of dirt with their hands. Nearby, Mr. Mahmoud's father, Hassan, his brother Nuri and his uncle Muhammad are also buried, each a victim of Libya's civil war, casualties of its factional, shifting alliances, and all murdered by the same militia who ruled their town. That war reached a crescendo in recent years, as Gen Khalifa Haftar, now aged 77, attacked from the eastern city of Benghazi and tried to unseat the internationally recognized government in the capital, Tripoli.
Al Jazeera report. Crowded U.S. border facility in Texas opened to reporters. The Biden administration has for the first time allowed journalists inside its main border detention facility for migrant children, revealing a severely overcrowded tent structure where more than 4,000 migrants, including children and families, were crammed into pods and the youngest kept in a large playpen with mats on the floor for sleeping. With thousands of children and families arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border in recent weeks and packing facilities, President Joe Biden has been under pressure to bring more transparency to the process.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. Recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.